Welcome to the pond, where we ponder things. Anyway, happy Testimony Tuesday. So, today I'm going to share with you the story of how God brought me the engagement ring that I used to propose to my wife. And such a cool story. But, anyways, starts back. Met my wife in Bible college. We were in the same class together. I came down from Indiana to Florida to go to Bible college, and she was from Florida, a different part. Came down to Tampa, and we met there. And I prayed about it, and I heard the Lord speak to me that she was the one. And time was ticking. I felt the time was now to propose, but the big problem was I didn't have any money. I spent like all my savings on housing while I was going through school. Um, wasn't the wisest with my money, and could only work a part-time job while doing school because of all the requirements, the after school. So I wasn't really making. I was barely making enough to scrape by. But I had learned a whole lot about faith, and so I thought, you know what? Let's utilize this and trust God, because if it's His will, He's gonna make it happen. So I began to pray about it, and they taught us in faith class to use scripture, because God answers His word. He's true to His word. And so I took Him at His word that whatever a man soweth, that shall he reap. And I mean, the beginning stages of the whole wedding planning is the engagement. So I just felt I'll just use my faith every step of the way, and to get this thing going, let's believe for the engagement ring, and whether it be the money to buy it or that the ring just supernaturally comes to me. And so I took that scripture that whatever man sows, that shall he reap. So I had one ring at the time. It was a little $10 ring I'd bought, that had a cross on it, and I just thought it was cool. Bought it one day. So silly as it sounds, I stuck that $10 ring in one of the offering tithe envelopes and sealed it up and dropped it in the offering at the church. And so I don't know what they did with the ring. Maybe they sold it or gave it away to somebody, but probably a little unusual. But anyways, so yeah, put the ring in the offering, and I began praying and believing God. Lord, this is your will. I know it's your will. I heard from you. So, Lord, I'm trusting you to bring in the provision. And so I'll just continue to pray over that seed for weeks. Then at the school, they had this conference that was going to happen. And I got this call from my buddy that graduated a year before me. This was my second year of Bible college. And he had already launched into ministry as a full-time evangelist, and he was coming back to go to this camp meeting so he can get filled up, encouraged to go out and continue to do the ministry. But he needed a place to stay for the week, so he called me up and asked me if he could stay with us. And I said yes, love to have you. And right away, what came to my mind was the Bible story of the widow making room for the prophet, and how God blessed her with what she desired, which was a child. And I was just like, I just feel like if I bless the man of God, God's going to bless me. Also, I really like him, enjoy his company. Would love to hang out with him for the week. And so yeah, he came down. The week happened. He flew in. So he was offered to take him to the store to go get some toiletries and stuff that they don't let you take on airports. Anyways, um, but I went upstairs to get my wallet. Was coming down the stairs, and he stopped me on the stairway, and he just stared at me like really intense. I was like, I don't know what's going on here. Um, and then he just looked at me sternly, and he said, Are you believing God for a ring?" And I said without hesitation, "Yep." And so then he pulls out this engagement ring right in front of me that day, and he says, "Let's go to the jewelry store. If this is her size, her desired size, it's yours." And I'm just like, "Whoa!" Like just shocked. And so we go by like some jewelry store in the mall, and sure enough, they check it out. It's exactly her size, her style too. Like she wasn't really a diamond girl. She liked gems, and so it was a nice, beautiful ruby with the rose gold band. Uh, Really beautiful ring, and like he said, he gave me the ring, and so I left it with them, let them clean it up, make it all shiny and pretty, and I was just so excited, on top of the world. But another testimony I wanted to share, I forgot to mention earlier, um, was before that ring came in. I went with the Spanish group when we were going to go minister door to door, uh, and hopefully lead people to Christ. And so the group leader of the Spanish group was a friend of mine. He knew I didn't know any Spanish. Um, this is relevant later. So we're praying in tongues, kind of trying to get encouraged in the Lord, get faith, because it's pretty intimidating to go up to strangers and ask them uh, and tell them about Jesus, just because sometimes people respond harshly. And but anyways, we do it unto Lord. And so we started praying, and I'm praying in tongues, and then at one point, apparently my tongues had turned into Spanish, and I was saying this one phrase over and over in Spanish, and I had no clue what I was saying. I was just praying in the Spirit. But my friend that was the leader of the group, he came over there, and he pulled me up to the front, and he said, "Matt, I know you don't know this, but you started speaking Spanish." And he said, "What you were saying in Spanish is, 'I receive everything from you, Lord. I receive everything from you, Lord. I receive everything from you, Lord,' over and over and over." And he knew that I was believing God for all the stuff for the wedding and the engagement. And so he prayed over me, and he said, "Receive everything that God has for you, everything you need for the wedding. Just let it come in and supernaturally provide for it." And God did. And that day, I fell out in the Spirit. Uh, got up a few minutes later, was just really encouraged. We went out, won some people to the Lord. Really great time. But that was just such a great encouragement to me to continue to press in, to believe and pray, and supernaturally everything that I needed, all the people that I needed for this wedding to come to pass, God provided every bit of it. And that day was one of the most powerful encounters I had with the presence of God. God was just all over that wedding. It was just super awesome. So I want to encourage you to just believe, press in. God's a respecter. He's not a respecter of persons. If he can do it for me, he'll do it for you. He's true to his word. He's not a man that he shall lie. Uh, he's always faithful. Take care. God bless.